CO, Halito, what up, cuz?
Oh, this Shamo, what's going on with you? What's going on with you, cuz? We're popping with you, baby. Hey, everybody that's joining in, thank y'all for tuning in. Please subscribe,
Press
share
that
with your
like button.
family, share with
Press
your friends. You
button.
know what I'm saying? We got merch, you heard me. And yeah, we got another special guest tonight. He's gonna be opening up the Gregorian calendar New Year's. You know, one and only. My Connie, Maku. You know, Lanel. With this say Guale origins. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be joining us real soon. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Oh, his say what's going on, cousin. Hey, cousin Lashonda, let's go. You already know, baby. You already know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, we
going
thank
down.
y'all for tuning in tonight. We thank y'all.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna
going down like
be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. So y'all get
it's
y'all
gonna be a good
popcorn ready, y'all tea, whatever beverage of your choice. Get it ready.
And if you eat popcorn, get that too. If you got, your little jujus, you know what I'm saying, eat that too. You heard me? Because it's gonna be a nice show today. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. We got merch. We got all that goodness. And if y'all haven't checked out our lives before, check out our playlist. We got the
Our
past
archives.
lives. Yeah, all the little past lives. Check them out, y'all. We got some
You
heat
know,
for your ass.
for those that been riding with us, you heard me. For those that been riding with us in the canoe, you heard me. I'd like to know what was your favorite show of last year? What was your favorite show of last year? We're gonna chop it up, you know what I'm saying, around the fire and pass the talking stick, you know what I'm saying, until our guests come on. You heard me. I like
Yeah,
to know what was some of y'all greatest uh informative show that y'all liked, you know.
yeah, posted in the chat.
Yeah, post it in the chat. Is it with Maku, Harjo, Chief Sekou Harjo? Was it that or was it with Maku Elk? You know what I'm saying? You know, was it Wale? You know what I'm saying? Was it me and Cuz? Was it the brother from Central America? Um, I
Costa
mean we
Rica.
have
We did so.
yeah. Um how many videos do we have? We should be in the 100 now. We should hit 100.
Well, we got a lot. We got a lot of shorts too, so I believe they count those too. So we got some shit in our arsenal.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
You know, like
Yeah.
anybody else, real chiefs to come on our show.
Right. Or the one with the effigies with Seminole
Because of
Brown.
Caroline. Yeah,
Yeah.
Seminole Brown. Yeah.
Yeah. So if y'all want to support, we got this merch. Yeah. Got this merch.
He wants some quality Brown. My little girl. She will sit on my lap while
Yeah.
I be here.
So if y'all want to get the merch, our link is in all the subscription descriptions, and check out
Show
our
your
social
support.
platforms, Facebook and Instagram. Y'all can get the link there.
They got the little coffee mug or tea mug. You can bring it with you to your job, and the people be like, "Well, what's that?" Let them see, right?
Yeah.
We are the information and alternative news in the southeastern region, in the south coastal region. Heavy
Yeah.
melanated and duplicated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. Pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
Did anybody say what their favorite was? Because I'm looking for this link.
What their favorite show was?
Yeah.
I'm looking. What was your favorite show? Cousin Anthony and Cousin Lashonda? Oh, now everybody ain't got to speak at one time now.
Right. Yeah, this is our store. We had this for the green corn, and it'll be coming up this year. So y'all can get it ahead of time if y'all like.
I,
We got the shirts, the bags, the mugs. We got the hoodies, the whole jogging set, the hoodie with the jogger pants. We even got a pillow. You want to put it in your study, all right? We got phone cases, little slides, and we got hats too. Yeah. We got a blanket. It's winter time, so y'all can cop a blanket, a little blankie. And we got this other mug with our other logo on there.
well, I just put it on my Facebook page. I said the Southeastern Stick is on right now. Well, fucking right now, right? Fucking now, you bitch, you. So, yeah, hopefully it'll come.
Yeah. 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 And make sure y'all check on our social media for the link to nephew's link for his books. So yeah, he got some books.
See, if we was the type of podcast that keep up bullshit, we'll have a lot of ratings.
Yeah.
But since we don't have bullshit on our page, we deal with history the other day. Oh, you already purchased your book? That's what's up. That's what's up. And it's a well good purchase, you heard me? It's a well good purchase. And the way how I like the way how he did the book in the format is in a point for point um format. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, cousin Lashonda, she said Two Clouds and Miku Seku were her favorites. And cousin Anthony said that the one with Guale Origin's nephew was his favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the two clouds one that's we
That's in a
gotta
category by itself.
yeah, that's a category by itself.
Yeah, that's a
And we gonna be doing some updates. We gonna be getting have his mother come back to give us updates. So
yes.
what she's doing and everything. So yeah. If we don't do updates with her monthly, we gonna do it bi-monthly. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, well, when some new discoveries happen. Yeah, some
yeah,
new discoveries. We can play it by ear because it may be sporadic.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, we thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for subscribing. Everybody that's coming, they have subscribed. So we appreciate y'all. Our moderators are in the building. Yeah, to combat the bullshit in the background.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just show a little preview of the books. Yeah, so he got that blue fire, that green fire, the humanity's flame, and the matriarch. Say the mothers of the ancients. Yeah, I got the humanity's
You saw.
flame, mother
All
of the
right.
ancients. I got that one. Those two. And then I gotta add the green fire and the blue fire to my collection.
All right. With no further ado, he's in the back. He's in the back. He's in the back. He's in the building. He's in
Oh,
the building. And we
it's on.
ready to bring him. You ready to bring him on? You ready to bring him on up?
Well, I don't see him.
You don't see him?
No.
You see, you got to bring him in the controls up.
Yeah, when I see him, I'm gonna pull him on in. And what we're playing in the background is from our channel, and no copyright infringement for the music in the videos. YouTube allowed us to use those clips in our videos, in our shorts, just so y'all know. No copyright infringement intended. Oh, okay, I see him now. All right,
He's
y'all.
all right.
All right, hold on. All right, we're gonna bring Mr. Guale Origin's nephew in the building.
With no further ado, we got him in. So I have to do the sound effects until we go ahead and do that upgrade. We'll do the sound effects.
Is your mic muted, nephew? I
That was
can't
the
hear.
crowd.
Tomo, greetings. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, Tomo, what's going on, nephew?
Yo,
All is well. Let's see. Helito, how y'all doing? Let me see. Let me get my volume up. Hold on.
We can hear you loud and clear.
All right, we good. So what's going on, man? I'm here. Talk to me.
You already know. You know you're gonna be a hard act to follow to open up the Gregorian New Year's, you know what I'm saying? So
I hope so. So we could get some more heat in here, right? Last year was a good year, but this year gotta be spectacular. People gotta bring that work, man. It's time to get that work. And you have to educate properly, right? Education is one thing. We all learn something new every day, but what if that something new is incorrect? So we got to bring the proper information. Also, greetings to the chat, those that I didn't greet. As I always ask on my page, how are you today? I hope you had a progressive day. If not, tomorrow will be better. If it isn't, just
tell my
call
niece
me.
I
I'll
say
make
hey.
you laugh.
I just saw her pass. Tell my niece I say hey. She just passed.
She said hi. So,
Peace.
Auntie Christina said peace. So we here. Talk to me. Y'all gonna let me take over the show, or
You are special.
We gonna pass the talking stick to you.
Yes, we gonna pass the talking stick to you. Did you want to get your plug in first, or are you gonna wait to the end?
I actually can do that right now. So for all of you listening in the chat, I'm an author of 7 books. One being a short story, 2 of them actually being physical. So you have the Blue Fire, which is a soft cover book, but it's written pamphlet style. And the reason it's written in point style is because there are a lot of points to make when you have to teach this to someone who doesn't know, right? So it's like teaching it to a first grader. So this book is taking you back, making it simple. The Green Fire is hard copy. It's a science book. It's 130 pages, so it's actually thick. If y'all can see it. I wasn't the solo author of this. This was a built project. So there are 3 other people who assisted in this, along with me doing an actual study of an archaeobiological research paper. So chapter 5 is what we're going to be going over today.
Okay.
All right. Y'all need to go cop those books too.
Yes. Yes, go cop them. We did show the little prelude with the books. In this,
so what I also want to touch on is right now the Green Fire on Amazon is $60. But while I'm on here, if anyone is looking to purchase the book alone, we're doing for $50. The package is still $75. The package comes with incense, stones, green sets of beads, but in different colors, right? So you have green, white, green, yellow, green, and clear. It comes with 2 tassels as bookmarkers, and it also comes with the green highlighter. So that's that for the promo. While you all are on here, please check it out. You can also read a snippet on Amazon. So volume two is up. It says out of print for volume 1. It's volume 2 that's up. I made slight corrections, but you still can find it on there.
Right.
Yeah, Istanbul, what's going on, cousin Ella? Once again, peace to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for joining. And peace to everybody who's going to be joining in the future to watch it. Once again, tune in, subscribe, like, and share.
All right, I'm ready to get started. I can share my screen from a control, so I'm ready.
Okay. All right, let's get it in. I hope y'all have y'all pencils, y'all paper, y'all smart notebook, y'all tablet, and everything else, because guess what? When you got people talking about America is Egypt and corn and just be ready. Just be ready. Just be ready.
Let's see. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, it's coming up. All right, so can y'all see the screen? We good?
See it loud and clear.
The one that's with the red at the top, the burgundy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this build is called the Yama era and the Guale. So it's dealing with the Guale and the Yama era. What we're going to explain is how this era gets its name and what was most important. We're going to talk about the foundation of this. And what Europeans term the Mississippian culture. So it's built on maize. But what is maize? Maize is the grain of Indian corn. This is 1550s, 1580s, of the cereal plant of the grass family that produces it. From Cuban Spanish, maize, from Arawak, maize, the native name of the plant. Corn, as a noun, literally means grain. Old English corn, a single seed of a cereal plant. Seeds of cereal plants, generally plants which produce corn when growing in the field. It's literally corn or grain or a kernel. So maize and corn are distinctly different, as maize is a corn. In American English, maize is corn, but in English, maize and corn are two different things. One, because they adopted maize into their language once they came across the people of Ati. So when people speak that there is corn in Egypt, the word that is, or the words that are being used are not speaking about maize, but corn in its general sense as a grain, something that's grainy, right? Next, we go over the word grain. So grain itself is a small hard seed, especially of one, especially of one of the cereal plants. Also, as a collective singular, a seed of wheat and allied grasses used as foods. So a grain, which is corn, but also a berry. So in these words, what you can find in grain, a fruit to give you as an idea of what something grainy is in the English language is, right, a pomegranate. So a pomegranate technically is corn. If you actually listen to the word, it's a grain. But a pomegranate and maize are not the same. So it's the English language that's actually confusing the people about what maize and corn actually are. So when we deal with the origins of maize, or the origins of the actual maize, what they call scientifically Zea maize, its origin is in southwest coastal Mexico. And the first people to actually cultivate this was not the Olmec, as many people improperly say, not by name, but actually by people, right? The first people who used maize in its first form, were the Mukaya. Now, the Mukaya are pre-Olmec people, and they built these structures and had these ceremonies which celebrated a food that was new to them. And these ceremonies they passed on to other people that began to come into the land. One thing that Wikipedia is good for now is sources or references, right? And the language of the Mukaya is Mississippian. Sounds familiar. We'll get to that later. Okay. When we deal with the Mukaya and maize, the cacao, that was introduced to them later by the men that they came across, as it was these men who began to mix their seed with these women, creating a new generation of people, right? Let's see if I can find this real quick. Bear with me one moment. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So when this mixture was going on, and they have these celebrations, you have different migrations. And these migrations began to lead people into what we know as the Southeastern United States. And with them, they brought these crops. And one of the crops was actually maize. And I'm going to pull up the invention of the Creek Nation so I can show you which groups began to migrate into the land and bring this maize with them. So bear with me just one moment. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to share this screen here. And this is the invention of the Creek Nation, page 10. Page 10 opens up chapter 1. So while I'm speaking, you all can read the screen. What's being explained here is that at one time, the group of people that first became known as Creeks actually lived in the West. And when they lived in the West, there were wars going on, and there was a famine which caused them to migrate towards the East. These groups became known as Coweta, Cochita, and the Chickasaw. But if anyone knows indigenous history, Chickasaw and his brother Shata eventually split. So this is a procession in migration. These are the original Mishashuki. This is why their language sounds so familiar, and I'll give you their mother's name eventually. But as they migrated, they brought this crop with them, a crop that can be planted year round, anytime, in any soil type, and it would provide subsistence for them. What this created is what is called the Mississippian era. This era for them was founded between 900 and about 1550, because again, there were so many waves. So when you say Muskogee, one has, if you're of that bloodline, you know exactly where your family fits in. So here, for the Muskogee, what it's stating is that ceremony began from Cahokia, as Cahokia was a place of unification. It was there that the Muskogee actually met the Yuchi priesthood, or the Zoya, the children of the sun. It was there that they met the Algonquin speakers, or the Lenape, and it was there that the Yama that stayed in the north instilled these rituals on them in order for them to become a part of the Brothers of the Pipe. Let's see if I can find this one moment. Let's see. And if you go to the Yuchi, Yuchi's website, they explain the actual procession. But what I want to show here is Deerskins and Duffels. This is a book that usually goes around the community, and it also explains something about that migration of the Muskogee. So, and this is it should be page 3. So the generally accepted view on the matter, proclamated by the historian Verner Crane, relates that the Chattahoochee River Muskogees had kin people living along Ochessie Creek, a branch of the Okmulgee River. Ochessie Creek was the main line of defense for the Carolina colony and the first stopover between the Savannah and Chattahoochee rivers. For the South Carolinians, the Indians along Ochese Creek and their western relatives were of supreme importance. After their first contact with the Ochese Creeks, South Carolinians soon began referring to them as Creek Indians or Creeks, a convenient application that was later applied to all Muskogees or all Muskogee tribes. It is no wonder that the English, for whatever reason, devised a general designation for the Muskogees. For the Indians were actually a confederacy or alliance of friendly friendships or friendly towns or tribes. The majority of towns were Muskogean speaking, and their oral history points to an early migration from the west. Muskogean-speaking immigrants began drifting into the Southeast during the late Mississippian period, perhaps around AD 1200, incorporating native populations into their ranks. So, again, what we're getting is different groups coming out of Mexico because of these different reasons. And they're landing in different regions with this crop, but what it's doing is it's starting to unify different people under a banner or under a friendship. Those who did not become a part of that friendship, they learned the language in order to continue trade with these people. But when the Muskogee migrated, where did they land? The Muskogee, no longer finding enemies to fight, took peaceful possession of the country which they had just conquered. They established themselves on the river Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chattahoochee, Flint, Okmulgee, Little and Great Oconee, and Ogeechee, and pushed their settlements as far as the river Savannah in Georgia, where the city of Augusta is now built. So as they're coming over, they're taking possession of this land and conquering different groups. But as they're conquering different groups, there was a group to the north. Now, this group to the north was also from South America. And they mothered the people that was in Southwest Mexico, but they themselves migrated to the Southeast thousands of years before their grandchildren. Now, these people ended up moving to Cahokia, where they were accepted by the Telegiwi. The Telegiwi, or that's a European term, right? Auntie, this is your people. The Tishligi actually accepted the Yama and they became friends. The proof is here where the language they call Mobilian trade jargon, and this is wiki. I can take you to the actual Mobilian book, I will. But what they call Mobilian trade jargon is actually Yama. Yama is the actual language. Now, they call it a trade jargon because you find Shata, you find Chicasa, you find the dialect of Gowida, you find Ichiri, you find these different original dialects. What Europeans thought was this had to be just somebody, it just had to be people coming together to create a language. What they didn't understand is people started back speaking their mother's language, Yama, that which is of a companion. This is also found in Mishuzuki and also in the glyphs as a companion, a friend, someone who's gentle to the touch, right? Mm-hmm. Now, we're getting there. This is just a part. This is the buildup. This is showing who we are dealing with. Let me pull up this here and then this here. One moment. Okay, we're gonna pull up this here. Now we can get into chapter 5. This is what everyone came for, or chapter 5 of the Green Fire, where we explain how This affected Guale in their daily life, or the Guali people who were originally in the Southeast. So give me 10 seconds to drink this water, and then
All
I'll
right.
begin.
All right. I'd like to make an address right quick. Jacob Key Caps, you're absolutely wrong, dude. So Jacob, my boy, you need to chill out. You know what I'm saying? You came in under an alias, but we know your real name. Your real name is Jacob. Jacob Keat Caps,
All right.
aka KC Chisholm. So Jacob, you need to go ahead on and chill out, bro, with the misinformation.
Peace. Ban. Party.
All right, I'm back. I mean, to argue, to deny was documented, right? It's kind of crazy. But
Right.
he'll be all right. We back. Y'all can hear me, right? We good?
Yeah, we
Loud and
good.
clear, you good, nephew.
Okay, so if you aren't able to receive the book, and if you do have the book, this is chapter 5, the Yama era and Maize and Guali daily life. Let me see if I can click over one moment so I can control this slide. Okay, so this chapter is a summary of Bioarchaeology of St. Catherine's Island by Clark Larson, or Clark S. Larson is an anthropologist who actually did the bone work on the Guale, and he's not lying, right?
Right.
This is going to address this particular topic. Excuse me. Turtle Gang New York asks, why don't African Americans look like their ancestors? And the anthropologists are about to explain why. So, the arrival of maize in the coastal Southeast during the Yama period marked a turning point in the lives of the historic Guali people. Before this era, their ancestors subsisted on a mix of foraged and hunted foods, exploiting the rich marine and estuarine environments of the Georgia Bight. Evidence from St. Catherine's Island and surrounding areas indicates a diverse diet, including fish, shellfish, deer, and wild plants like acorns. However, the introduction of maize cultivation after AD 1000 reshaped not only their diets, but also their settlement patterns, labor organization, and social systems. Maize's adaptability made it reliable even in the sandy soils of the coast. The Wali practiced a form of Sweden or slash and burn agriculture to prepare fields for planting. After clearing vegetation, they would use tools to cultivate fields, often near their homes. This distance of field near homes allowed for smoother oversight of crops, demonstrating the integration of agriculture into the current rhythm of life. This shift from mobile foraging to settled farming brought stability, enabling the Wale to establish larger, more permanent communities. The Yama period, is characterized by the widespread cultural changes which extended inland and along the coastal lands. Platform mounds, such as those at Irene, were not just political centers, but also sites of agricultural celebration. Archaeological evidence from Irene Mound and South End Mound 1 indicates that the Wali people incorporated Yama practices into their own culture, signaling a spiritual participation in the broader Yama network. Maize played the central role Maize played the central role in these cultural transformations. Its importance transcended substance, becoming a symbol of life, fertility, and abundance. First cultivated by the Mukaya, 8,000 BP, 8,000 years before present, these ceremonial practices were to the agricultural calendar. Planting festivals and harvest rituals where maize served as both an offering and a communal meal. It was considered the food of the gods, as cocoa was the gods' drink. Together in the southeast, they became maize and yupon. The Guali, while adopting these structures, modified Yama traditions to suit their own environment and cultural context, blending new influences with their coastal identity. Beyond its nutritional value, maize became a cornerstone of Guali economic life. Its surplus supported trade with inland and coastal groups, including the broader Yama cultural sphere. Being the stewards of the coast, the crop boom allowed for exchange in decorated pottery, shell beads, ceremonial items such as cups, bowls, incense, and copper knives, strengthening alliances and expanding the coastal influence as their ancestors had done over 2,000 years ago. Mississippian trade routes spanned vast distances, continuing the connection the coastal Guali had with societies as far as the Midwest. Maize's portability and storage capacity made it an ideal commodity for these exchanges. In many cases, it also served as a diplomatic gift, symbolizing life, prosperity, and mutual reliance between indigenous American trading partners. The coastal environment posed unique challenges for agriculture, including poor soil quality and fluctuating water availability. Their ingenuity allowed them to thrive, strategically locating fields on higher ground and near freshwater sources. The Guali created canals to water fields and mitigated the effects of saltwater intrusion. Balance was maintained between traditional subsistence practices and farming, ensuring their diet maintained its diversity. Marine resources remained a paramount role in Guali life. The combination of four mentioned fish, shellfish, and maize provided a balanced diet, reflecting a sophisticated understanding of their environment. Archaeological evidence of fish and shell middens near settlements proved that the Guali integrated their prehistoric practices with time-tested methods of marine exploitation. During the Yama period, this became more ravishing as the population began to rise. Shells which were eaten before were mature. Now the babies were being consumed. Daily life and social system. The clan town and social organization of the Guali still existed. All which their ancestors had provided had become nationwide. Under the Yama Brotherhood, towns were subordinate to the priesthood. However, the Guali had their own union, even with the adoption of maize farming. Planting, tending, and harvesting required now coordinated effort, often involving the entire village. What was plentiful had become seasonal game. Women were traditionally responsible for gathering plants, as always being the primary agriculturalists, while men focused on hunting, fishing, building, and defense. This division of labor reinforced social cohesion, as communal effort was essential for all success. Maize also played a role in redistributive economies where surplus crops were stored and allocated by village leaders. This was not for power, as Europeans may have thought, but it was because the village provided for their own, as it takes a village. Health impacts of maize, a costly transformation. The integration of maize into the Guali diet brought profound changes, but its effects were overwhelmingly detrimental. Stable isotope analysis of human remains from South End Mound 1 reveals a significant dietary shift, with maize becoming the central caloric source. However, this transition from a diverse subsistence strategy to dependence on a single carbohydrate-rich crop resulted in widespread nutritional imbalance. The high carbohydrate content of maize contributed to a sharp increase in dental caries, tooth decay, which is evident in skull and skeletal remains from the Irene period. These same remains, reveal high rates of enamel hypoplasia and cerebral orbitalia, markers of chronic malnutrition and anemia. The Guaili, who had once thrived on a varied diet of forest plants, marine resources, and hunted game, now faced nutritional deficiencies linked to their dependency on maize. This crop foreign to their ancestors and imported through trade networks was not native to the region and lacked the nutrients provided by their traditional foods. The sedentary lifestyle required for maize farming further compounded these health challenges. Agricultural villages became densely populated, creating ideal conditions for the spread of infectious diseases. Skeletal evidence from postal reactions indicate chronic infectious exacerbated by poor sanitation and the close proximity of human and animal waste. This new way of life not only weakened the population, but also made them more vulnerable to outbreaks of disease. Beyond individual health, the adoption of maize disrupted ecological and cultural systems. Fields replaced wild foraging areas, reducing biodiversity and straining the delicate balance between marine sustenance and agriculture. Over time, the Guaili became more dependent on maize monoculture, leaving them susceptible to crop failures and food shortages. In hindsight, the adoption of maize agriculture was not the boon it seemed. Its introduction brought malnutrition, disease, and ecological strain, eroding the health and resilience of the Guaili people. What began as a promise of stability ended as a legacy of suffering and a reminder that not all transformations lead to progress. These pictures here are of South End Mound and Irene Mound sites where they have our aunties digging these mounds for artifacts, their own. This is in Georgia. You see the baskets, right? Y'all, auntie, you know it's like we know, Pa, you know you who only make these baskets. Auntie got the pipe, right? But these are our women that they use to do this research, to do this digging for them at this site, which they found all of this work. Now, what are some changes that have happened or the change in subsistence mode? This can be found in Bioarchaeology of St. Catherine's Island. Now, if there's a change in subsistence or hunting, gathering, fishing, and then it becomes agriculture, there would be a change in settlement pattern. That means that there's an increase in population size, which means there will be an increase in infectious diseases. Or there could be a decrease in population mobility and an increase in infectious diseases. Change in work body demand on body, and we have change in work demand, master factory apparatus. So it says reduce muscle activity, alteration of pattern of growth, reduced muscle growth, reduced bone growth, which leads to cranial and postcranial changes, reduction in size, change in form. So with the adoption of maize, the people or the ancestors of the Guali look completely different than their descendants, because as their descendants started to change their diet, their bone robustity started to change. They were not the same size. Their bone density changed. Their teeth changed. The shape of their jaw changed. The head structure changed. So when they're saying, well, you don't look like your ancestors, well, shit, if you eat shit, of course not. But why? There's a change in food composition, which leads to poor quality protein, which leads to reduced muscle growth, reduced bone growth, which again goes down to the changes in the crane. So if the crane or the skull is changing, so too is the mind. If the skull is changing, so too is the mind. Now, let me go over these last changes here. One moment. Now, here are a few changes that happened with the adoption. So you have the increase in non-specific bone infections, increase in dental caries, and a decrease in degenerative joint disease, and a decrease in craniofacial tooth and postcranial health. So their teeth were becoming shit. You get like they were becoming something completely different because they took on the food ways of someone else. But not just that, it was to the extent that they did it. So a people who had no diseases, a people who pre-Mississippian era had no cavities, a people who are not anemic became 70% anemic. But then ask yourself this: why is it that 49.6% of all people with anemia are so-called Southeastern African Americans? Here is the answer. Your ancestors' diet has changed. Now, the way they combated it was by continuing to eat from the water. The shellfish and the fish provided iron, which kind of offset the maize that was being eaten. So you begin to see an actual difference between the Guali that accepted the Yama culture and those who continued their ancient ways. So who are the Guali? I'll go through books that I have that I may have to just pull up online. But the Guali are the people that the Spanish call the Guale, or the Muskogeans call the Guali. In their language, it could mean the South, or those who inhabit the land downstream, or properly the edge, right? That which is at the bottom of us. Excuse me. Let me go here and see if I can do this again. Hold up. Let me see if I can do this again. So this is Indian tribes of North America, where Swanson explains the different, or he gives different, variations of the name Guali. You have Ibaha, Igwa'a, Ibaha, Igwa'a, Yupa'a, and Yupa'a is said to be Timucuan. You then have the book Indian War Sites, where it also, which we also have, but can't show it here, so I'll just show it here. But it lets you know that the Guali and the Yupa'a are the exact same people. The book Apalachicola then explains that not only are the Yupa'a and the Guali are one and the same, but the term Ufala or Ufula is a dialect of the word Yupa'a, just as other words are in the Southeast, but they have a Muskogean ring to them. I can bring this up for you. I'll bring this up so you ain't gotta, don't squint. Here we go. So here where it says it is notable that there is archaeological evidence that there was multiple ceremonial centers that were in use near the study site of Apalachicola during the time of during the time that De Soto was traveling north in search of Ibaha and Kofa Techekwi. So that's there, okay. And for some reason they're making me skip too far. But I'll go back for you.
That one screen. Are you reading from something else?
Oh, it didn't share. Oh shit. Hold on, it's coming now. Here we go. Here we go. We good?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Pardon me, y'all. Let me see where we at. Let me go up one. Okay. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. All right, but I'm gonna find it. But again, Eufaula is one way of saying Yupa'a. It's a part of it's one of the dialects, but it's more Spanish. Also dealing with that, what people don't know is that Yupa'a and Appalachia are the same word. Appalachia is said in Muskogean, which is why you have the chi at the end of the word. Chi, ki, gi, kli. All of that is Zuki, right? It means people. So when these people came amongst the land, they met the Yupa'a, but they start calling them Yupa'achi or Yupalachi because in the Muskogean language, they don't have the R sound. They have the L sound. We didn't have the L sound. We had the R sound. So the Apara becomes the Aparachi, or the Apaha becomes the Aparachi. You see where I'm going with this, right? Everybody get it?
Right.
So
right.
The Apalachi or the Apala are actually Guali too. The Catawba are the Chicora, and everybody talks about Kofa Techekwi, but they're Wale too. So in the Catawba Nation, it's talking about the treasuries. It's explaining De Soto's travel to Kofa Techekwi. But what is explained here, and I'm sharing it now, is that Kofa Techekwi itself is a Creek word. De Soto was to learn later that in the language of the Catawba speakers who lived there, the place was called Ibaha. So when he left Appalachia, he was dealing with the Ibaha that was speaking to him in the Yama language. Apala, chi. When he got to the north, he was speaking to those who already defended themselves against the Hichiti speakers and didn't speak Hichiti. So they would have said, Apa, ha, ha, as in people in Siouan. So all of these are the same place. But when Europeans came, they started naming people what they wanted to name them. And people started to run with those names. But in reality, everyone was considered those from above, or those seeds from above, because they all worship a similar deity. On this Facebook post I did late last year, you will see it here. And I say, well, I don't think Appalachia means people from the other side. In fact, I think it means people from above. But in the so-called Muskogean dialect, Apala is literally Yupa'a, Ibaha, and Eufaula. Appalachia and Guale were both located in the same area, but on different coasts. Both places were called Šwanołi, the place where heat is. Now, when we study the Timucuan language, because we mentioned the Timucua, so we have to bring them up in this sense, because being that they also say that these people name were Ibaha, there's something in their dictionary that's very telling about this unification of people, which the Spanish attempted to separate because they didn't know the language. This is the Timucua dictionary. So it says the implication is that the Deptford people who show cultural continuity or continuity with the succeeding Wilmington and Savannah people in Georgia were likely Muskogean in both language and material culture. This seems substantiated by archaeological evidence indicating that the Guali, Appalachia, Guali, the border or edge of known Muskogee affiliation, were the end product of the Wilmington Savannah tradition. They were the end product of this tradition. Why were they the end product of this tradition? Because the Yama and the Guali were so close that specific groups of Guali actually adopted maize. But when the Mississippian era exploded, there was a specific group that became known specifically of the Ibaha as the Guali. Just one group, but they were still all together or collectively known as the Guali. Now, there's also an insinuation in this text where he's speaking on the admixture or the mixture of these people, and it's also by way of language. And what he's explaining, or what's explained in the dictionary, is the majority of so-called Muskogean words, because we know Muskogee is a new classification,
Right.
but the majority of these words come from Appalachia, Alabama, and Coshadi.
Right.
There's two things I need you to look at this screen, because I'm going to be the one to tell you. Alabama and Alabama and Appalachia were originally the same word. This culture was so vast. Like the Yama, they unified under one name. Now, the Appalachian language that's the most found language or Muskogean language within the Timucuan language or the Timucuan diction. Now, it says there are two possible explanations, and it's for the borrowing. So there are two possible explanations. The first is at 1800 to 1000 BC time level. Creek and Hichiti speakers may have been located farther to the north and west than in later times, perhaps on the Georgia-Tennessee border, ancestral Alabama, Coshadi, and Appalachia speakers, forming a layer of population to the south of them and spreading further to the east than we now realize. So he's theorizing. We've laid out the facts already. He's theorizing. He says this possibility is raised by the use of the Appalachia or Coshadi name, Guale. The English spell it Guali, Appalachia, Guali, Coshadi, Guali, border or edge, to refer to the easternmost of the known Muskogean people on the Atlantic coast of Georgia. Now, again, we know Muskogean is a general classification that we don't deal with. These people weren't Muskogee. But this is a perceived map of the Deptford culture, which birthed that single group of people that was known as the Guali, but they themselves, again, are the Appalachia. let me see here. We're gonna share this next screen. We're almost done. Stay up with me now. Stay up, Paul. Wake up, Paul. Wake up.
Oh, I'm up. I'm up, nephew.
Looking at his phone.
All
Looking
right.
at the couch.
We almost done.
Oh,
We almost done. So, this book, Beneath These Waters, was written about my grandmother's town, Pocatello, Georgia, unincorporated, right? And they are a mix of Yama and Tishligi. So here, just real quick, it explains that people scattered across the land adopted in various ways to the changing world. There were enough similarities in their responses, however, to mark the beginning of the Arctic cultural tradition, which spread widely from the East Coast to the Great Plains by 8000 BC. The Guali were the founders of what archaeologists term what is it called? The Arctic culture. This is just one spear point of the Guali, which were in, and this is a part of our quartz culture. Spearheads, arrowheads, right? Spearheads and arrowheads were all made out of copper, not copper, quartz at one point, and this is what they consider or call quartz culture. In quartz culture, go ahead. Sorry, excuse me.
I don't think they heard when you said that there was the founders of the culture.
Facts. The founders, right?
Yeah.
And it was their mothers that decided for the men to branch out and make unions, because the daughters needed to deal with men outside of who was normally in their range. With it not being so many people that it was that it may have been now, you had to go out and find a mate. So things like these quartz arrows, let me see if I can find one. There's one here. Let me share this. Things like these quartz arrows, you have flint rock arrows, but these were used as trading gifts. It wasn't until a people came down from the north that began to introduce what are known as stone head or stone arrows and spear tips or stone, even our ceremonial objects like certain discs were made from quartz. We had actual curies where we actually, they actually can prove where we got these rocks from to make these different artifacts. Or I can't say we, or our ancestors, right? It's in the blood, so we. But yeah, that's how I would like to end that or end that presentation about Maize and Guali daily life or Guali culture. I hope that I was able to touch all bases. If there is anyone who has any questions, please feel free to ask any questions, whether it concerns the book, Maize, the Yama culture, the Guali, or dealing with the quartz culture. Thank you all for having me too.
Yes, we appreciate you. I do have like a comment question. Okay, I see how they did this shit. Okay, the maize and the corn and how it brought disease and different things, right? I know at one point, I don't know if it's all cultures, but they use corn crops or maize crops as like money. Them promoting that is like, it's kind of like people come in, they see what your weaknesses are. So they promote that, and then that further like messes the people up as a culture. So I see that observation.
That's a beautiful observation for this point here. When the Spanish came in, at one point, that's all the Guali could eat was corn. So they seen the effects and then put them strictly on the maize diet. So it wasn't just the maize, it was the overconsumption of maize which eventually changed the complete genetic makeup of the descendants of the people. So you can go dig up a bone, you go dig up these skulls, these skeletons, and you say, well, this shit is 20,000 years old, but it won't look like a historic Guale person, even though that can be his ancestor. And that historic Guale person won't look like their descendant who is 500 years down the line. So as Grammy say, you are what you eat, right? And that overconsumption actually began to dictate how the people thought. It made them smaller in every sense of the word. It made them smaller.
And also it changed the people enamel in their mouth, you know what I'm saying? Because the maize turned into sugar, you know, so that was another thing, right?
Facts.
But
Facts. We
we
spoke on the enamel erosion, and I want to share this for something. You said something. When it comes to the makeup of maize, it's a C4 plant, right? Or C4 pathway. They call carbon 4 or carbon dioxide 4. These plants are built off CO2. So the structure of maize after C3 plants like wheat, barley, things like that, you get these sugars, right? So sugarcane and maize are both C4 plants, right? So when those carbohydrates start to take around the teeth, you start to get plaque, right? But this again, if you don't eat this, you don't have it. So let me see if I can find a few effects on matter of fact, it's on this same, it's in my book. I'm tripping. It's in chapter 5. I don't know why I didn't show this. I want to show you the actual effects on our ancestors. Let me see if I can, here we go. So these are bones that were found or that, uncovered and tested. But these from Irene Mound site. So they show basically all of these different diseases. Like you have mitosis, you have tuberculosis, you have cavities on the teeth. These bones are affected by tuberculosis. This is a tooth. This tooth has a cavity or a tooth decay. So these are things that you can actually see. This skull was also affected by tuberculosis. And all of this is due to not just the consumption, but the overconsumption of maize, right? Let me go back here. Let me pull it back so you all can or wait, my bad. There we go. There we go. So you can actually see the bones.
Yeah.
So the effect, as I said in the book, was definitely detrimental. I do want to say this isn't to make anyone feel any way about their ceremonies, but this is specifically for those who are Guali. If maize is a part of your diet, there are certain things that won't affect you, right? It's naturally a part of your diet. But I'll say this much. You can look at the difference in Southeastern African American, right? I love that term now. It's fucking hilarious because they got it on DNA tests. You can look at the difference in our genetic makeup after eating corn, and you can look at the average Mexican, right? And you notice how short they are. But you notice that even with them being smaller, their workload is different. It's because of their genetic makeup. That food was literally made for them. It's only so old, right? So it was made for them specifically. Now, there's one thing I want to show. One more thing. I was done, but there's one thing. One more thing I want to show. Let me see if I can find this on this laptop. this would be crazy. Let me see. Because while dude is in the comments, is he still there? The case
banned. He's banned.
No, he's banned.
Oh, he's banned. Okay, cool.
But he probably pulled up something else so he could still watch.
I'm trying to pull up this PDF. It's called here we go. So it's called it's re-examining the peopling of the Caribs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you showing it to us?
No, I'm
okay.
pulling it up for you all right now.
Okay.
Let me open this file, and I'm going to share this with you all. So while all of this is going on, there has been testing done on these bones and the supposed populations. Who could they be, right? Who could they be? I don't know. They not the Native Americans, as the anthropologists say, or as we say, Pa, the anthropologists, right? So now what we're going to look at is they're talking about the Gullah population and the slave trade. How much DNA do the Gullah hold of African people? And what they found out is there's a genetic connection not only between the Gullah and Puerto Ricans, but also the Mayans. And this ain't through mama. This through daddy. So niggas like to say they ain't African, but if your ass is Mayan and Puerto Rican, it's a 70% chance that your ass got an African granddaddy somewhere, right?
Right.
Now, I'm skimming through this because there's something specifically that I'm looking for, and it's talking about how there's been DNA of the Gullah, right, that's been found in South America. But they're asking, how did it get there if the Gullah are not in South America? So the establishment of a possibility for consistent gene flow over time into the Gullah population, an ongoing relationship between Native and African groups, then requires establishing potential relationships between other populations and the Caribs, which might clarify a pattern or indicate an area of influence. They're not talking about from South America. They're talking about from people that are in North America and men who eventually traveled from Africa. Now, what they say is, during this study is consistent with those findings that were found by E.J. Pereira. Now, this is a Jew. I'm saying this because this is not a Negro, right? This is not a Negro. This is a Jew. And this report found that in the Gullah population, says, quote, with respect to the Native American influence, there is evidence of female Native American contribution in these Southeastern Native American populations. African American, populations. I gave it away.
Highlight that shit.
Make it let me highlight it. Let me highlight this real quick. Let me see. We're gonna do green. So, with respect to the Native American influence, there is evidence of female Native American contribution in these Southeast African American populations. In the Gullah, we observed 2 individuals with haplogroup B. And in the Low Country, all the Native American haplogroups, all the Native American haplogroups, A, B, C, and D, were present. Now, this genetic inclusion is noteworthy as, unlike the Mexican Native American population, which was significantly larger following first contact, the island populations of Arawak, Taino, and the southeastern woodlands tribes of the of the United States had an extreme population drop or extreme population drops. Some have speculated the overall drop in childbearing women was as high as 50% on the mainland, but as high as 90% for the populations of Cuba, Haiti, and Dominican Republic. A Taino or Arawakan contribution to contemporary Caribbean populations specifically, cultural isolates such as the Gullah or Garifuna through mitochondrial DNA. It indicates there was a high degree of interbreeding between island groups almost immediately upon contact. I don't know, right? They told you who these women eventually birthed, right? Now, they also explain that these people, again, they are predominantly off the coast of South Carolina and Georgia. But a clear genetic line can be traced from the Tuscarora tribe or tribal regions of the now United States to the Zaptotic or Zaptetic regions of Mexico. Now, did I not mention the Mississippian, right?
Right.
In these different groups that came out of Mexico earlier, right? So there was a lot of mixing that was going on. But the dagger is, as they began to mix in, people seem to be replaced in the European world. But it says that what they suggest, rather than displacing native populations, the Gullah and Garifuna were combining. So again, these people were coming together. All study participants were aged 8 through 80 years old, through 40 years old. And this is, again, interesting because what people fail to recognize is that if the bloodline goes through, not if, the bloodline goes through the woman, and this mitochondrial DNA that is held by these Gullah populations belongs to an indigenous American woman. That's how I will end my presentation. Thank you.
What book is this from?
This is out of Florida, examining the South American model of Arctic Caribbean settlement. I'll send you this, or you can type it up, or I'll send it to you. But you can find the PDF. Basically, what they were explaining, and they have a model. Let me see if I can find this model for
you. Yeah, because the people going to want to know like where you were reading from so that they can share this.
Yeah, I only gave the opening. I only said out of Florida. So now y'all have the whole title. Let's see if I can find it somewhere here. I missed it. They were mentioning dugout canoes. Some being 6,000 years old, some being 4,000 years old. That were created in the Southeast. That have been found in South America. Right? They found dugout canoes that have been found in the Caribs that were created from trees in the Southeast. So not only did they do the genetic work, they also went through the actual botany, right? And the anthropology to see, okay, well, damn, this is how it works. Uh-oh, we finally got to the pictures. Here we go. Hold up. We good? Oh, it's taking me all the way back up. Hold up.
Yeah. But while you're looking for it, let me say this. You actually have people that will sit there and they will argue against scientific facts that we are showing. You know, and just like Chief said, that that's crazy because now we're talking to people who are really slow, you know, basically that we are beating up on people who don't know no better. That goes under the canoes right there. So yeah, so they think that they just don't understand, you know what I'm saying? But they're gonna learn dealing with this information that you presented to those that need to see this. You see.
Yeah. You gave a lot of good information, and he read from The Green Fire, his book, and this book that he just showed y'all. So these are book sources for you people.
And he read dealing with the anthropologists and everything that's dealing with that. And notice, none of this stuff didn't mention anything about America being Egypt. None of that.
Mm.
and that goes for me. There you go.
All right, so this projection is talking about the it says a Caribbean migration model and some ceramic style zones as drafted by Fitzpatrick and Joshua Keene. These were those who made this projection. And this is people coming out of South America going into the Caribs around 7,000 to 5,000 years ago in different groups. And this special group you'll see here about 1700 BP, which is before present. That special group is the trade group now known as the Temupa. As they aren't one people, but a group of people who were sent from South America to do a specific job. These are artifacts found in Georgia, different artifacts.
Why do we like the Woo from Wu Tang?
Right, it do right. This one definitely. Let's see what we got. Okay, three. Few pictures in here. They weren't stingy with the pictures, especially when it came to the canoes. They actually showed how the canoe styles were similar from Florida all the way into present day Minnesota. So these are axe heads. These are axe heads, which were found in Haiti, but they also showing you these axe heads here, which were found in Georgia. Right, fairly similar. Um, Let's see what else we have. Then we have another model. This model is speaking on waters or the currents, right? Or the current flow, showing how if they were taking this route, it's different ways that the water would have taken you. In ancient forms, it was said that these currents, right? They open and close as they will, and you have to take the right one to get to the right place, or your ass could be lost. You'd be on the wrong side. This model is explaining, I think this is not think, but this should be explaining the migration to Cuba from South America, the Yucatan and so it's showing how people came down from Florida into Cuba, and how people came up from South America into Cuba. One day I know he'll explain the story about the land bridge, which connected these lands, right? So eventually, there was a reason that the Muskogean or the Mishazukian people also considered those who were above um, at a particular point, or particular point in their travels. So yeah, I definitely wanted to show that model too. I'll go back for a few seconds. So anybody wanna?
Yeah, you did talk about that, Pa, on here about the land bridge.
Yeah, yeah. And what
Yeah.
most people don't know is that basically when they was migrating, they actually went like a bull's horn, if you notice what I'm saying. And it's just amazing how you have some people who don't even much know the migration story, you know. And I just would leave it at that.
Okay. This is awesome. I'm so proud of you, nephew.
Thank you, and thank you again for supporting my work. For supporting my book. Both of them, or the two that you did receive.
Oh
I
yeah, I'm gonna
so
get all seven. Stop playing. I'm just adding them little by little into my arsenal.
Yeah, the
Oh,
books is a very much go get, because the stuff that people are spewing on the internet, dealing with all the social media sites like Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all that there, they're not speaking about this because they can't, because they internet Indians. We are Indians on the internet. That's a big difference. See,
right. What they should be doing
Mhm.
is looking at them book references.
And
For
even
for
and even when you got
oh no, go ahead. Pardon me.
and even when you got people like Jacob, he doesn't know no better. You know what I'm saying? He don't know. He don't know about the Southeast.
Well,
In the
he
South
can
Coast.
purchase some new books now. He can purchase 7 books and read up on that shit.
Yeah, he can go do it. He can go buy the book, which I think he is.
He gonna buy one so he can
You
look
know he
at it.
got a, you know,
It
because
ain't,
he got a man fetish. Because he got a man fetish with us.
On some good news, I did go and check my numbers, and I actually got 4 copies that sold out the country. So
Oh wow!
I don't know who watching, but I got 4 copies that sold out the country. They won't tell me where exactly, but they aren't here. So again, definitely get your books, your blue fire and your green fire. The blue fire has the face of a deity, and the green fire, as you're reading, it actually opens up to a campfire. So as you're reading, you're actually holding the green fire in your hand. So you actually are holding the actual fire. So again, this was put together by the council. I do want to give a special thanks to Red Crane, Little Deer, and Makawachi Silver Cougar or Silver Jumper, as they definitely helped me with this or helped me put this together. And especially Red Crane, because he did his work. And he has a bill called What That Mouth Do, where he explained how putting the wrong things in your mouth can affect you. So definitely thank you to the medicine man for that. Do we have any questions in the chat? I know I did touch everything. I'll touch every base. But do we have any questions in the chat?
Well, I like to bring up something that you spoke about. See, when you know your shit, the Europeans and them were validated because nephew had a certain phone call, and you know, and he actually told her, and she said, "You know what? I had to ask that question myself." She said, "You absolutely right." And we not gonna say what the name was or what the event is, but just know the Europeans validated his shit just by saying that,
Fact.
because we know.
Fact. Facts. Just know there's a lot of work to be done, right? And this work can
Right.
only be done in unison. So just contact me so I can give you what you need directly. I don't want to say too much on here because they be watching, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
museums that are already been shut down due to what's going on. And pretty soon, if we don't get our shit together, they ain't gonna be visiting any more of your ancestral mound complexes. They'll be in the hands of people that actually invaded and burnt them down. So
Right.
that's a conversation I had earlier. I don't want to have now, but if you are an individual, if you are a family member, if your ass is a follower, a leader, if you're a human, contact us so we can shoot you this information on how we can best defend ourselves from this encroachment.
Yeah, because they don't like this great awakening with people and doing their genealogy and listening to the oral tradition stories of their family and waking up to all this information of who they are. They don't like it. So, yeah.
Right, because once you genetically tie back to the land, and that tie is to someone who predates the invasion, they got a problem. So they're trying to get rid of as many bones as they can. So they won't tell you that these are Negroid people. They won't say Negro. Listen to me. This is
Yeah.
science. They'll say Negroid. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to throw this away which is why you have to go into these different works and find out that damn Native American people, Native American women birthed this society. But why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
Right.
Ain't it American women that's the most envied? If you think about this, American women have the most freedom, and we're talking about our women, but it's because it was on this side of the water that they were worshipped. It's on this side of the water that they controlled the bloodline. Even when men like the Muskogee, who were originally a patrilineal people, even when men like the Yama, who were originally patrilineal, migrated into the East, they adopted that matrilineal society, which even made their women stronger, right? But hey, it is what it is. Niggas is just the voice for the family. That's all. And that's what the Southeast was showing. Men didn't make pottery. Niggas made arrowheads. You know how easy it is to go out there and knock two rocks together and sharpen that bitch up, and right? Women made intricate designs. Women made paddles with actual designs on them, which Europeans say, oh, nah, that's just decoration. But this is a language.
Right.
So being able to carve your language into wood or quartz, or women even having the science to teach men how to burn a fire to heat sand a certain way to make glass, right? That comes from mama. So it's so much that comes with this, but I just wanted to focus on that maize part. One day I'll come over here and just do a study strictly on quartz culture, where we talk about quartz pottery. We talk glass, like glass, right? How we had glass cups. We're gonna talk about copper headdresses. While some people like, damn, why your headdress shaped that way? Well, if you had copper, right? If you had a copper headdress, maybe your shit would be heavy too. But hey, right? Any questions, please. Any questions? I'll answer them all.
This is the Q&A. And what
Yeah.
people don't feel to realize is the quartz and stuff, that's pre-Clovis.
Yeah. Cousin Alice said they was trying to give her a blood transfusion. She's anemic. Back to your point when you was talking about melanated people being anemic. Yeah.
You have a deficiency.
When it
They
comes to
wanna dilute her blood.
health. Oh, sorry, pardon me, Auntie. What you say?
No, I just said they just want to dilute her blood.
Basically, what I can do is or what I do go live next time, probably tomorrow. Ayla, if you want to tap in, tap in tomorrow, and I have Crane on. Red Crane can explain it where I can't, right? Where I'm missing, he can fill in exactly what you need to make sure that you know that your blood is pumping, that you actually alive, and that you don't have that deficiency. And a lot of that comes from the water. So what we're talking about, that offset is dietary. So fish, I hope you're not allergic to seafood, but seafood basically was that offset to that lack of iron, or the iron deficiency. Yeah. So what is this? This isn't popping up. Why isn't this popping up? One moment. I was sharing my screen. One moment.
Okay. You took it down. I didn't take it down.
No, I was sharing it the wrong way. So one of the sites that are recognized as a pre-Clovis site is Topper site, Sakuhachi, right? Or the Sakuha. The Sakuha are another group of Ibaha, but this site itself is a minimum or about 50,000 years old, and this shows human activity. One thing that was found at Topper site was an actual oven. So to have that form of information, houses, right? All this, to have that form of information of 50,000 years ago, that shows you what we're dealing with. Topper site is on the Savannah or in that Savannah region in Allendale, South Carolina today. But any Wale understand that was also a unification site, but there are older sites that are currently lost in the water, which is why Beneath These Waters was actually written. But this is written about northern land of that Savannah region. So this thing is a lot older than what people know, right? Outside of the scientists. And can you imagine say that again?
Nobody said.
Imagine being a scientist and someone say, well, people migrated out of Africa 40,000 years ago. And you're like, well, shit, I found something in America older than that. The conflict that you're going to get from contemporary scientists are going to be to hide your information because they are attached to a specific group of Africans. If you take away that connection to the American, then Europeans don't have a place in the original Americans. They only have a place with their African fathers and the women they birthed in East Europe who became the quote unquote First Nation Americans. So this thing has to truly be studied for real.
Yeah, awesome build. We appreciate you, nephew. Keep doing what you do. Keep busting heads. Keep busting heads.
I can close my laptop now. So I'm on y'all free build. I'm on y'all time. I'm not in teach mode no more, people. So don't get mad at me. I'm about to roll up, but I'm listening. So,
so anybody got any questions? I told y'all come prepared with your questions and everything. Okay, Beyond Clouds join us. Peace family. Thank you for joining. Iron deficiency in women can be due to many things, not just genetics, but the importance to see what because it can be catastrophic and deadly.
Right. So as mentioned, right, it doesn't have to be specifically genetic. It can come from food, but what it does is attack the genes. So this is the fight that's going on in the body.
It's like
It's just like they have the dietary book that's called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And then what people don't fail to realize because they see, the green corn, because it was the green corn ceremony, everybody didn't eat the green corn.
Facts. But that's an English term for just one of a specific harvest, right? Or harvest
Right.
fest.
Right.
So we all celebrated or had harvest, but we harvested different crops at different times. So it was just at one point that became eventually the majority, kind of how Muskogee, right, or that quote unquote Muskogee dialect became a majority for us all, to the point where they called the Yamasi and the Wale Muskogee, which was fucking insane. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, they have done a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's just saying this was amazing information.
I told y'all we go bang it open for the Gregorian New Year's. Y'all ain't gonna believe me.
Yeah.
And to Miss Moo, Beyond Clouds, that Two Clouds' mother, we Wale the Ibaha, we are with you. Our mercy, Kakika, he's very upset about because again, a lot of this is new to the South, right? But I just want to let you know that you have other sons, you have other nephews that's gonna help you get vindication. So just know it's taking the time that it's taking, but you are contacting everyone that you need to contact. And I'll tell you this. If you read the book Carolina Genesis, they tell you that the Mohegans are Guali. They originate in the South. Maybe there's a reason that Spirit wanted to return
down
to the
south.
Right.
Ooh!
Right. Well, that's the roots, huh?
Because the South is the North, and the North is that which is above. So Ibaha, those children from above, Zoya, the children of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it. Yahola, that's deity, right? These are God's children. As what he say, Pa? Indigo. These are God's children.
Right.
So we're all the Creator's children, and we must protect each other. So I also want to say, if you know anybody who's a victim of domestic violence, see something, hear something, say something. Please say something.
Yes.
Something. Say something, please. So yeah, be back to it. I'm here listening.
Yeah,
You're right.
because niche culture is fucking up things. Now, people, when it's a crime like domestic violence, RAPE, because they be trying to ding people's channels for shit. But anything like that, tell. So that snitch culture, they try to attach it to that. Or if people are unalived, tell somebody. Tell somebody. So I do agree with that. I had to piggyback off of that because that's real.
Because see, what people don't fail to realize is when you deal with the traditional laws, listen what I'm about to tell you. When you deal with the traditional laws, maybe this is why the Europeans said that we was heathens and barbarians, because our way of justice was swift and there was nothing to be played with.
Crimes against women was totally off.
And children.
Yeah, women and children.
Anyone,
Yeah.
but it's why would you want to fuck with somebody weaker than you? And what I mean
Right.
weaker than you, we talking about in mentality, right? We talking mentality, because people can be vicious, right? People can be bullies. So say something.
Yeah.
And guess what? And they did say something, and they thought it wasn't going to be kept on ears. They thought it was going to fall on deaf ears. But boy, I can't wait till the day of vindication come. Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah.
Oh, revenge is best served cold.
Exactly. That part.
Loose
Yes.
lips and chips.
Anybody got any more comments or questions?
The floor is open. You can put the link in there if anybody want to come join us right quick. You know, for this
Yeah.
opening of the show that busted open for the Gregorian New Year's. He came and did, and he dropped the tomahawk.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I will share the link. I got my eye open. Let me see. All right.
There's a question if you look up. All right, we're looking up. We're looking up. I think he answered that for
Yeah,
Ella.
yeah. He
Yeah,
already touched on that.
yeah, he answered it already. Yeah, he answered it already.
Any new questions or comments in the chat?
My auntie say I don't be getting no questions because I be touching every base. So I don't know if that's why. I probably covered everything.
Yeah, you explained it too. You know, you didn't just read. You did explain it. So that was
point for point. Point for point. It was point for point. That's what we do. We do point for point. We showing you the long algebra and the short algebra.
okay.
Our math is mathing, and it's mathing right.
Well, okay. Wow. So, okay. Yep. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. They just were commenting, like, as you were speaking on certain things, not necessarily questions. We had some other shit to address too. What was that, Pa? You were speaking on some other shit.
No, everything is well. Everything is well.
Okay.
That was it. Yeah.
Right.
And that's nothing to address anymore.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we did show them how to make monatomic gold and colloidal silver. Yeah, they got their game from us, our
All the
ancestors.
alloy.
Yeah, we schooled them on a lot of things. Our ancestors did. Yeah. It's kind of quiet. Make sure y'all get these books. I'm gonna share it again.
Oh, also I want to say it again while it's up. If you do get it today, I'm doing the book only for $50, so it comes signed too. So the green fire is only $50. The blue fires, they'll be in on the 15th, so I'll be shipping some of those out, or those orders that I do have. But the green fire is actually discounted $10. We did it last weekend. We did it this weekend too. So go ahead and grab those. Shipping is included. I have a better shipping method. So shipping is included in the $50 purchase. And the book is usually, it takes about 3 days to print. So about a week now that everything is it's flowing. So about a week you'll actually have your signed copy.
That's what's up. They showing my shit at the time.
They say, is there evidence of glass being traded to different tribes and or European nations? Well, you have to understand with that being done, this was before the Europeans even became a nation. So that would be amongst the tribes, amongst ourselves. And evidence of that will be in the area which falsely became known as Cahokia. Cahokia was not only one site, but you also had Property Point, which was a site. You also had where the Snake Mountain is at up there in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? But the middle designation was actually which became known as Cahokia.
In the center. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the center of the trade. So they found all kind of stuff right
there. From that unification, you can actually find Cahokia artifacts in Florida and Guale artifacts in Cahokia. So that trade was definitely vast. The trade routes were vast, but it was the rivers that connected it. Sorry, that's that good za. I'm sorry, everybody. But
there.
the river
Got your medicine.
with the pathway. So,
Okay, Wale, can you see how you get your book again?
say it again.
Say how you can purchase the blue fire and the green fire again?
If they don't
Oh,
want to get you on Amazon.
okay, perfect. If you don't want to get them on Amazon and you want a signed copy, you can cash out me, and put your name. Like once you cash out me, you can or put your address, and I'll have it sent to you. My cash out name, I can actually put it in the private, auntie, so you can post it. Oh, I can see the comments. It's crazy, ridiculous. All right, hold on. Let me drop this into the chat. Um, oh, I can't. So I don't want to put my phone number on there, and I can't use the private chat. Oh, yes, I can. Let me see. All right, here we go.
Put your Cash App. Are you okay with just putting your Cash App? The other.
I'm about to drop it. I'm about to drop it now. I don't be remembering what it is. I'll be remembering what it is sometime. Okay, I got it. It's Okbaka. All right, it's Nighthawk and Muskogee. Let me see. Copy. All right. So here, if you copy it and post that in the chat, it should work. Okay. All right, there we go. So again, that cash app that's gonna be posted into the group or into the chat is where you can send the funds for the book. Again, the Green Fire Volume 2, it is $50, and the Blue Fire is $30. So both of them are currently discounted. Let me see what else. It was a comment. Someone said we were using healing frequencies similar to right. Singing bowls are actually a thing, or were a thing in the Southeast too. So like court singing bowls,
Right.
formed to different frequencies. I currently have A and C in the room. So I got court singing bowls in the room. Also, so I use it to actually heal some water. So sometimes during ritual, you got to heal the water. If it's not taken directly from specific rivers, you put it in that bowl and you play that A, or push it in C, or even put certain quartz stones into the bowl with water. It'll actually begin to heal the water. So that's a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact.
Okay, yeah, I seen that question you was talking about TalkingStick. Yeah, all of this information I'm speaking on is pre-contact. So, there were no technically there were no Europeans at that time, but there's more than enough proof of the trade between the people of the quartz culture and all the other cultures. So. I would give an example with the with the singing bowls, how they actually change tunes based off the different chords that you put in them. I should do a video on that. I do have a video, but it's a reason why all this stuff was used. Even when it come to beads, right? Glass beads, for ceremonial objects. All I can say is whoever was the scientist that built that fire in order to heat sand to that temperature to get it to do something like that, um that's similar to an act of nature, because we didn't have the sharp objects that they had out west that was being made, from obsidian. So our mothers knew how to make their own.
And this is why you also had the crystal skulls. See, people
Mm-hmm.
forgot about that.
Facts.
Yeah.
They thought it was a myth.
Right.
No. Yeah.
No, I didn't. Hold on, I'm going back in soon. I didn't mention the Bahamas directly. Uh, but they're mentioned in the books. And I'm speaking on how when Maize got there, it was brought to the southeast from certain people in the Bahamas that also joined in ceremony, right? Bahamas is an extended word. Bahamas and Bemini. Both of these words somehow are also found in the Guale language. Don't ask me. I don't know why. Uh, but if you family, I'll tell you later on. But there's definitely connections between the Taliqui and the so-called Bahamians. Another connection is when the Wali did leave. It is documented at Florida International that many of them left Florida and actually went to the Bahamas. So I can tie that in also, just to mention something.
Oh, is it over? And you said the blue fire today is 30. Is it muted? Are y'all muted?
Yes, the blue fire sign is 30.
Okay.
I think I dropped it to unsigned on Amazon. It's 30, but it's 30 signed through Cash App.
Okay. Is it Kawi Ka? Pronounce that. Kawi. What's that? Kawi Kawaka?
I'm gonna have to go back in.
Is that right? Kawi Kawaka? Yeah, this got your picture. Okay.
Yeah, that's a connection in relation to it. Because remember, whatever they didn't have to the islands, they had to come to the mainland to get. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. Nephew say he back in the in the back room, backstage.
Okay. Why is it acting like this? Hold on.
Pardon me, I got a call. You know, when you get a call, they kick you off. So
Right.
Right. So any more questions?
They kind of quiet. Somebody asked about the chants and the mantras. They want to know some chants and mantras.
Well, those chats you have to come to the ceremony to do that. Some things is not meant to be shared online. You learn that at ceremony. Notice I said ceremony, not no powwow. You learn that at ceremony.
Right. Exactly.
I know how you said that too, Pa. I ain't gonna tell nobody. I know how you said that too. Heck no.
Because you be having people thinking that powwow is ceremony.
Man, and people keep my DM is crazy.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Because what people fail to realize is when you go to the powwow, which they call it, right? That's for the public.
Right.
Ceremony is not for the public. Ceremony is sacred. That's kept sacred.
I can't find it. I can't find it. Let me see.
Because I remember somebody asked another person, well, what you do at Green Corn? He was like, because you say you Muskogee and this, you should know the ceremony. Right? So I'm laughing because the person tagged me to come at the person, and I'm like, man, look, you put yourself in that water. I can't help you swim, you know. You know, you got people in them, they want to go on stuff and read things online. Yeah, you can read things online, but is it really the way how it is online? You know what I'm saying? Or is it something totally different? You see?
Right.
Hey, hold on. I wanna add my I want to see if I can add my controls back, because I don't know why I slipped my mom, but I did mention some things in the Bahamas. You can open that for me, baby.
Yeah, when you got cut off, that's probably why the controls got
He
cut
on
off.
mute. Yeah, he on mute.
Yeah, I have muted up real quick with the player call.
Yeah, he did that.
Nah. I'm finna do something. I wanted to show this. This is one of the pictures from the Bahamas that they call a Stargate canoe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a piece of the canoe, actually. Let's see what we can go. What they got reference to. So, love, brother. Oh. So it said, okay. So yeah, just showing it in relation to other islands, basically. Just a little example. Talks about the canoe here. And it says that it's over 2500 BP, so 2500 years old before present. Let's see, you have located. Okay, so they have all right, okay. So they have remains, items, all this. Artifacts that are about 7,000 years old. So yeah, this work mentions the Bahamas. I'm gonna go to the title so y'all can jot it down and actually do a study of it if need be.
Yeah, she can't. Somebody said they can't wait to go to ceremony so they can see the indigenous tattoos.
And then I also like to touch on this because I heard somebody on TikTok say, "Oh, y'all say that the Africans and them came over here pre-Columbian. Well, why there's no showing linguistic connection and everything?" And I'm like, baby girl, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know the language of the Southeast, because like you said, you have words that's dealing with the Timucuan. It shows that it has similarities to words over there in Africa.
Facts. That's an actual fact. That's an actual fact. And if anybody want to deny that, I know people in South Africa today that confirmed that for me. And it's not one word or two words. So don't think it's just sound. This shit is not sound alike. Like some people try to tell you what a language, they try to make themselves that person. You right? That the authority over certain languages when they aren't, right? So let's see if I can find something. Uh let's read this. This is something I missed, and this is one of the 4 reads. I actually missed this. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let's talk admixture. We analyzed admixture in samples of 6 different African American populations from South Carolina. Gullah speaking Sea Islanders in coastal South Carolina, residents of 4 countries and the Low Country, Berkeley, Charleston, Collecton, and Dorchester, and persons living in the city of Columbia, located in central South Carolina. We used a battery of highly informative autosomal mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome markers. The sample from the Low Country Gullah is composed entirely of women. Excuse me. I have to highlight this. So in this case, it was not possible to test for male-specific gene flow. With respect to the Native American influence, there is evidence of female Native American contribution in these Southeast African American populations. In the Gullah, we observed 2 individuals with haplogroup B, and in the Low Country, all the Native American haplogroups were present, although at a very low frequency. In Colombia, we found 1 Native American haplogroup, which was A. Now, it says at a low frequency, which begs me to ask this question. Why have they now included Southeastern African American on DNA tests? This is something to think about. If it's at a small level, why did they include Southeast African American on DNA tests? The reason being is because in the Low Country, the sample was composed entirely of women, which would, by tribal law, by clan law, give the Gullah the entitlement to the land, or anyone that's considered Gullah.
Right.
This is something to think about. This is something to study. This was 2001. We're 24 years down the line, and this has become an actual genetic classification. Let me see if I can undo that. But if not, but Southeast African American, we're going to retract that, because that's not what they were called.
Right.
You're talking about the Gullah. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about 6 specific groups of people, and you said these were 6 different quote unquote African American populations. Shit is insane. What do you mean by African American populations?
And what you mean by 6 different?
What do you mean by 6 different? What makes these niggas different if all niggas the same? I don't know. I wouldn't know, right? So this isn't a game. It's something that needs to be studied. Instead of simply studying disenfranchisement, that color shit. Oh, they said we niggas. Oh, they said we black, bro. That shit is minute compared to the actual shit that's been done.
Right.
They always trying to reclassify some shit.
Nah, they good for that though. They definitely good for that. Let's see the mythology of all races. See.
It's a Negroid. What is a Negroid? The Negroid is not the Eurasians.
Let me see. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up real quick for y'all. I'm tripping. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Let's see. All right, here we go. So again, everything I drop is sourced or referenced. If you can't see it, just ask me. I got you. So this is the Virginian Post. This came out April 25th, 1997. Hopefully it pulls up. Okay, perfect. So Jamestown skeletons of African origin. Smithsonian Institution scientists have discovered that 4 skeletons dug up decades ago at Colonel Jamestown are among the oldest known remains of African Americans. This is change. This is new. The bones, thought to date between 1650 and 1700, were originally classified as American Indian.
I like it.
Y'all see this? Do y'all see this?
They not letting me highlight it, so
No. It's big for them to see. Take a screenshot.
There you go. It's highlighted. They can see it.
Yeah.
They can see it.
Yeah.
Now, one of them is said to have had dementia, and they can tell by his crane. One of them was shot in the head. But this study was done a part of something called, or a study at Oregon State called "Who Were the First Americans?" And it's ironic that the people who are considered the First Nations, they never turn up with Negroid skulls, and these skulls are always somehow reclassified when they come around or get their hands on the information. One moment. Let me see. Let me tap this up. Let me see.
Mysterious.
Let me see. And
now y'all see why he wrote the blue fire and the green fire, because he's on fire.
they're good for it. This came out in 1939. This article was published in 1939. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right, and it's anthropology work, and it says it was done under the Royal Institute of Great Britain and Ireland. But Buxton, Trevor, and Julian, right? These are journalists. So this recent paper, right? This paper says implies that a undeformed Negroid physical type inhabited the Virgin Islands in pre-Columbian times. Now, the thing about it is, it says that it eventually goes and tells you that most physical anthropologists would probably be less conservative and say Negro and not Negroid. So do you see the game? This is a game. Like this is a game. When you use their language, it's all a game. So now, I'm gonna leave this up for them to check it out. If anybody wanna read that. Now the interesting part is that when the Yamasi were called Negroes, this happened when they were in the interior and when they were in the coastal lands and united with all of these different groups of people. So we're talking about the individual group and the Confederacy. But did we not just talk about the peopling of the Caribs from North America?
Right.
This is setting the stage. This is setting the stage. This is why I wrote the book, Who You Are, Not What You Accept. Because who are you for real? What have you accepted? Are you willing to say, fuck it, I'm a Negro? And them crackers look you in your face, say, well, you Negro, you're not a Negroid. So that ain't you.
It's the same thing. The root word is still the same.
It's still the same. But this is when you read their work, you literally have to look at it like it's damn near legal jargon. You get what I'm saying? Like you in court. Because without going into further details in the connection with with physical type, I will call attention to one thing that clearly proves the Barbados specimen to be Negro. So in 1939, they considering these bones to be Negro or Negroid, whichever one they want to whichever one they want to pick and choose. But then we can go just back 30 years ago and show that there were also bones that were classified as a Native American that are now classified as Negroid. What happened if those people were just so happened to be the same people?
Right.
What happened if they are the same people? So the Bahamians, right? Also, that's right, Mama. They're right here. Bahamas, they're right there. They are these bones were not just found in this study, in this particular study site, but this is everything east and west of the Mississippi. See, the thing is, the Negro or the Negroid's skeleton is naturally more robust.
Right.
So when we start to go back to what we studied earlier, which was what? The effects of maize on Guale daily life.
Right.
So now you have a people that their skulls, everything has changed. We talk about how this changes everything. So what you may consider an American Indian, which, right, may be the Negroid, but that Negroid didn't eat any maize. This is why you consider certain skulls or skeletons to be American Indian. But then these same skulls and skeletons, you don't equate to the modern day Native Americans because it's not them.
Very interesting.
Because remember the bones of the twa that they found in the mounds? You still got that picture, nephew, that I sent you?
Hold on. I actually I don't even know. Let me see. Hold on. One moment. Because I remember we had that conversation and hold on, what it was called. Let me see if I can go over here and do this. Hold on. This when they had the you said the dwarf bones inside the mounds, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let me see. Let's see if I can find this. Shit, no, but I found something else I just found something else that just put me somewhere else. This is a Christian burial site of Indigenous Americans. I don't know, my energy just changed, but
you saw that.
You can tell these are Christian burials as they are laid straight, right? With their hands positioned over their chest area. Let's see. Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that picture anymore. That's crazy because I think he had like an extra row of teeth or some shit.
Yeah.
I've seen a picture with the extra row of teeth.
Because some people like to think that the mound builders were one way, like they had 6 fingers, they had all these teeth. It's like, shit, what about the dwarfs, right? What about those who actually talk
the little people?
What about the little people, right? Always overlooked, but never forgotten. This bet not play, right? The greatest deities to me are the trickster deities, because they don't lie. They just want to know if you know the truth. So don't play with it. But I can't find it. But these are just different pictures of mounds. I wish I could have found that for you. I wish I could have found that for you. This is
send it to him right now. He can pull it up, cause
yeah, I don't know. I remember that picture, but I don't remember, I definitely don't think I got that right now. Let me see.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking.
If you talking, you muted. You muted yourself.
Oh yes, I was talking to my wife. I was
Okay.
something to drop, but so in Wendover Pond, they actually found remains human remains about 8,000 years old, that were in the mound. So they actually have found that. Let's see what they also found in Florida. The mastodon with the scrapes on it and all of that good shit. They found all these different animals with war wounds, and in those war wounds, again, the actual anthropologists have pushed this back 100,000 years, but contemporary scholars are trying to keep it within that Paleo-Indian history, because that deals with certain groups, intruding on us, and that's where they're genetically tied in. So that's really their focus. Anything that's older than that, they trying to send it to Oklahoma, where it doesn't fucking belong. So, yeah. Let's see.
Oh, I got it.
Let me pull down. Hold on.
Got it.
There you go.
Okay, let me see if I can share it. Let me see if I can share it.
And then,
As long as it ain't a video, you can share it.
So, let me figure this out.
Bed is creaking. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. Nah, that's a video, but I mean, that's the, you know.
I can look.
That's
I mean, I can
little
look.
man.
The videos be choppy, but if it was a picture, I'm not. The little people of Wyoming. Let me see.
So yeah, that's dealing with that. But this the picture right here. This little small man or woman right here. You know, you can tell that it's full grown. You see.
Yeah, yeah, and of course, this is what they saying. They were man eaters, enemies of humankind, the little people. They, you know, they love to villainize people. Everybody was not a man eater.
Right. Right.
Right.
But what it was is they was getting their ass chewed up. So that was their focus. Like when you bring evil, you get evil back. So you didn't meet a good, you know what I'm saying? You didn't meet a good person that we consider the ancestors, right? Those who live forever. Auntie, you know what I'm talking about. Because those that's a part of our culture. So they always like to demonize our shit. But it's because they were the real demons. So trust me, that whatever you find on the internet, study that shit. But bring it back to somebody who actually operate, and they'll be able to help you sort through the bullshit.
Hey, what's up, Chaco? How you doing, my brother from Vegas? Thank you for tuning in.
Let me see. I think it's one more. It should be it. Okay.
Talking about this right here.
Hey!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. They showing the pictures. I just muted it so we won't hear the sound. But let me go back a little. Okay.
That's it right there.
Let's see if they're gonna show some other pictures. um,
Nah, I ain't gonna show nothing else.
oh, they not okay. Wait a minute. Okay. You have some other stuff, nephew, you want to pull up?
I show this pictures. This be the last thing. Just to show how some information is universal. I wanted to show this mother and child was found in Cahokia. Mother and child artifact. Look very familiar, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I ended with that. I'm good. I've been done. I'm just building now, just moving and grooving. So
Yep. So anybody got any questions? Anybody got any more questions?
They just attentively listening and observing.
I mean, if not, I would like to end it here.
Okay.
So I could go ahead and get this meal prepared. If your ass a man and you don't put that food together, I don't know what you be doing. Cause I be doing the damn thing. Again, I leave you all with this. If you see something, say something. Love yourself. love yourself. Someone asked for a mantra. I am beautiful, and being beautiful is me. I am God, and being God is me. But you can't be any of those things without any money. So I am money, and money is me. I leave y'all with that. Thank y'all for having me. Peace.
Peace.
Right. All right. All right. All right. Thank you, nephew. Thank you, nephew. So,
Yeah.
hey,
Thank
hey,
you.
hey.
Shwanołi to our special guests and everybody that tuned in that had comments and questions. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Hey.
Share, subscribe, like, and get your merch, man. Get your merch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Get your
Oh,
merch.
somebody came. Oh, somebody came in again.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see.
He came back again. But he left so soon because I banned his ass again. But let me pull up the
He just
merch.
ain't gonna do it, huh? He just isn't there. I can't wait till the people knock on this door.
He just so in love. Okay, this is. Let's see. Right. Where
So,
did it go?
yeah, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Shit. This is one of the good shows to start off the Gregorian New Year's. So you got people that said that the Southeastern Indians ain't Negroes or Negroids. You heard it from the anthropologists.
Right. And
Very
y'all
good.
can get those books and use those as your book references, your sources.
I'm gonna say this: don't argue with me. Go argue with your mom and your pa. That's who you go argue with.
Okay.
Cause my bloodline is not up for debate, you bitch. You.
Right. Exactly.
Ah, that
Yeah.
poor.
My bloodline is my bloodline. Like you can't debate that. Like that's something
Right,
you can't debate.
right.
Yo,
Like
yo,
somebody say, I'm a white boy and I'm more Indian than you. Okay. I never saw a white aborigine. But hey, it is what it is. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
But yeah, make sure if y'all do want to support, y'all can go to our store. The link is in most of the descriptions of all the lives and the videos on our YouTube. It's also the link is also on our social media platforms. And we thank everybody for tuning in. Wado Yakoki, Shwanołi, to our special guests, and to everybody who tuned in, like, shared, and subscribed. We appreciate y'all.
And look, and when you do get your merch, take a picture with it and send it
Yeah,
to us so we can show it on the show. We're like, man, this person we had on, and they went got the merch. They went got the Southeastern Talking Stick, the first of its kind. Like I said, fully melanated, never duplicated. You heard me? Yep. If you want to be found, come meet me on the mound. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can say that. You know what I'm saying? We've been there, been doing it. You heard me? So yeah. Go check out the merch. Purchase what you like. Buy it for your family. Buy it for your friends. Hey, show yourself some love and treat yourself. Don't beat yourself. Treat yourself with that merch. So
he's
what
a
y'all thought? What y'all thought about the show tonight, y'all? What y'all thought about it?
yeah. And make sure y'all go purchase Guale Origins books. If y'all want to do it on Amazon via Amazon, or you can cash app him for signed copies. So um, the link is in the description. Um,
I got
yeah,
my copy of the blue book.
yeah. I got two of the other books, and I just ordered the Blue Fire book. So, so now I got three.
Yep, I
So
got.
we gonna end on that note. Then let me show this one last time.
Nobody ain't got no questions.
Yeah, they quiet. This is Amazon if you want to purchase on Amazon. Yes. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm out, cuz. Peace.
Peace.